Knicks family, what's poppin'? We held off the Hawks in a 112-107 victory. But there's a lot of things to talk about, so let's do it. And here is your daily, bi-daily, whatever you want to say, reminder. January 21st, 2019, Martin Luther King Day, Knicks versus Thunder at Madison Square Garden. You get a private lounge on Chase Bridge. Food and non-alcoholic beverages are included. Courtside at the pregame shoot-around. A tiny mini tour of MSG that costs us $205. $220 with an NBK t-shirt. There's only 24 tickets left. Make sure you get yours so we can see you there. Let's talk Knicks Hawks. Knicks family, what's poppin'? Definitely, thank you, Captain. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. I would appreciate it very much. So let's talk about this game here. The Knicks. We held them off. We shouldn't have had to hold them off, but we held them off. You know what I'm saying? We held them off. For the first half, Frank Ntilikina shut down your boy, Trae Young. Shut him down in the first half. No points. But Trae Young started to get his a little bit in the second half, mostly when Frank wasn't guarding him. He did score, I think, 2, maybe 5 points on Frank. Or while Frank was in the game, but we won it. We pulled it off. What we win by 5, 112-107. It shouldn't have been that close. We had a chance to blow it open, and we started playing sloppy. Some sloppy play down the stretch in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter execution was not what I wanted to see. It wasn't. We played sloppy down the stretch. We won. We pulled it out, but we played sloppy down the stretch. Lost our point guards. But we're going to talk about it all. We're going to really get into it. All right. Already in the video chat, we got Isaiah, we got Aunt G, we got Viv, and we got the real Shark Fin in the video chat. So we got some guys to talk to. We got some interesting developments in this game, some things to talk about. So we're going to get to it. Before we get to it, let's just recap the game real fast. After I recap the game, then I'll get a quick analysis from the 4 guys we have in the chat, and I'm sure the chat's going to grow just a little bit. We'll get a quick analysis from these guys. If you want to call in 516-405-2246. And ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to the bottom of the screen. You can see the number scrolling across the bottom of your screen, as well as the link to appear in, so that in case you'd like to join us in the video chat. And be patient when you call in, because sometimes there's a lot of callers. Sometimes when talking on the video chat, there's only one of me. So I can't get to everybody and talk to everybody at the same time, but I'll get to you. Stay patient while you're on the call. You know, listen to the elevator music that's on there. That's exactly what it is. But anyway, the Knicks held on to defeat the Atlanta Hawks in Atlanta. A small crowd in Atlanta, which it usually is. Never can understand some of these fans in some of these arenas. You know, I mean, you know, pregame, I looked at it, the seats were almost empty, and the teams were warming up. You know, you got to get some people out there. In Atlanta, you know, they're trying to do so many things to attract customers or fans to the games. They got a barbershop. They have all these things, and they still can't attract fans to the game. New York Knicks fans, we are incredible because we sell out the Garden no matter what. You know, we can have a bunch of kindergartners on the floor. We'll still sell out the Garden. That's how we do. We represent for our people. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's the one thing we got to appreciate that, Knicks fans. Let's appreciate ourselves. Hand clap. Without a doubt. Anyway, let's get to it. let's get to it. The Knicks, that first quarter wasn't, although we tied the first quarter, I was a little disappointed at the end of the first quarter, but yet still, we won the first quarter 26-20. I mean, we tied the first quarter 26-26. Lost the second quarter 29-16. Third quarter, we came out and we did our thing. Won it 35-18. 35-18. We won the third quarter by, 17 points. Had a 14-point lead going into the fourth quarter. And then we started to give it back. But we didn't. Found a way to hold on and pull it out. Our biggest lead was 16. Their biggest lead was 7. Lead change is 12. Longest run was 12. How many times did we tie in the game? 10. The Knicks won the rebounding battle, 48-45. The assist battle, we got demolished. We had 15 assists in this game. It's a wonder we won. 15 assists. I mean, we just had better players, I guess. Atlanta Hawks, 26 assists. Steals, we had 8 steals. Blocks, we had 7 blocks tonight. 7 blocks. See if we can continue to do that. Then we had 16 turnovers. We shot 44.2% from the field, 36.7% from 3. We shot 47 free throws tonight. 47 of them. That's a lot of free throws to shoot. Tim Hardaway shot a large number of free throws tonight. The Hawks shot 40.2% from the field, 28.9% from 3, and 75.9% from the free throw line. The Hawks shot 29 free throws tonight. One of the rare nights, at least so far this season, that the Knicks went to the line more than their opponent. 47 times. That's a lot. I'm pretty sure the Atlanta Hawks and their coaching staff will have some things to say to the referees or about the referees in regards to the foul difference, because that's a significant foul difference. 47 times to the free throw line. That's a lot. That's a lot. But I'll take it. I'm not complaining about it. I'll take it all day, every day. All game, every game. I'll take 47 times to the free throw line. Next time, hopefully, we convert more than 70%. Give me 80 to 85%. Give me 80 to 85%. We blow this game out the water. But, with a team like ours, there's always going to be something that keeps you from blowing the team out the water. But anyway, good win by the New York Knicks, although there's a lot to talk about. A lot to look at. Let's take a look at the box scores of the game. On the New York Knicks side of the ball, Damian Dotson, one of the slower nights for Damian Dotson of the season. 17 minutes, 3 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. I'm not mad because Damian Dotson's had a very good season so far. Noah Vonleh had a double-double, almost a double-double in the first quarter. Had a double-double in the first half. 11 points, ended with 13 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. Mitchell Robinson, 5 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Tim Hardaway Jr. had 34 points, 22 field goal attempts. Hardaway Jr., 16 for 20 from the free throw line. That's where it came, my friends. Listen, on a night when Tim Hardaway was not shooting well, whether he was knocking his rust off or it's just Tim Hardaway, he took some wild shots, that had me upset. I'm not going to lie. I was like, come on, man, don't go back and do the old Timmy. Stay with what you're doing. But knowing that he was not hitting and shooting 36% from the field, Hardaway went to the rack. That's why he went to the line 20 times. And he shot 80%. So there you have it. Got to give it up to him for that. Shot 18% from the 3-point line. 2 for 11. But he went to the rack. And he made some buckets when we needed them. I'll give him that. He pissed me off throughout the game. That's going to happen with Tim Hardaway Jr. You know it. You know what I mean? He pissed me off a bunch of times throughout the game. Bunch of times. But he ended with 34 points, 20 free throws. It's the reason why we got 47 for the game. 3 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. You know, besides his field goal percentage, it was a good game for Hardaway. Frank Ntilikina played 22 minutes because he was in foul trouble. We got to do something about these little fouls. He's aggressive. He's aggressive, and but he picks up 1 or 2 fouls per game that are just unnecessary. He's got to learn how to, not pick up those fouls. That's all right though. He shot 50% from the field, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. He also had 3 turnovers, 1 steal. And, and basically the difference in tonight's game and some of the other games is that he made those shots. He didn't really do too much different than he does in the other game. He just made the shots. He was 2 for 4 from 3-point line as well. Emmanuel Mudiay played well tonight. 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Enes Kanter, 17 points, 11 rebounds. He had 5 turnovers. Alonzo Trae, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Came up big in the clutch. Alonzo Trae is quickly... Well, when we do player breakdowns, we're going to talk about all the guys when we do a player breakdowns. That's on the topics, one of our topics for this evening. We're going to talk about these guys, and we're just going to talk about them and what's happening with the team, because there's some things going on. I don't know if there's things going on behind the scenes, but there's obviously some things going on. Mario Hezonja looked like a bum tonight. 1 point, 2 rebounds. Kevin Knox, he's not even getting the minutes. 0 for 6. 1 assist, 1 turnover. I don't know how much we can say about it right now. I guess we just got to give him some time to, get back out there. But, that's what we got from Knox tonight. But the New York Knicks come away with the victory over the lowly Atlanta Hawks. A couple of super chats. Let me get to them. One super chat. Sensational Vids. We were just talking about Kevin Knox. Thank you for the super chat. He said Knox needs more minutes. He'll get them. He'll get the minutes. It's simply right now he's coming back from injury. He'll be just fine. I think he'll be just fine. He'll get the minutes. I'm pretty positive of that. Let's get to our video chat. Like I said, we got Viv, we got Aunt G, we got Isaiah. We got the real shark fin. And let's see who's knocking at the door to get in. I decided whether or not. Yeah, that's Tony Crow. Of course, we letting Tony Crow in. All right, so let's check out our friends here, see what's popping, see what's going on. Might as well start with Tony Crow, since Tony Crow just came in. Yo, Blackest Time, B. What's popping?
What's good, Sam? What we talking about?
Right now, we just, I just went over, just recap the game, and just trying to get you guys feel on the game. How you feel about it?
Good win. Nice bout. Nice recovery for Frank.
Mm-hmm.
It's been great to see Tim Hardaway go to the free throw line. I felt just like you as far as some of the shot selection. It seems like it is what it is with Timmy.
Right, that's it.
But if he could get to the line, like that, I don't expect 20 a game, but if he could get there 10 times a game,
yeah,
that's superstar stuff right there.
I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if he can get to the line like that.
that's his aspirations to be a superstar. I'm not calling him one,
Right.
but that's
right.
what he wants to be.
Right.
So, by all means, do what you got to do to get better, and he's getting better. The team's getting better. So I'm happy. I'm happy with a win.
And if he can, if he gets to the line like that, then I'm not gonna be, you're not gonna be mad if he's shooting, if he has an off night from the field when he's getting to the line like that. So yeah, shout out to Timmy for finding another way to be effective. And then of course down the stretch it was effective. So still took,
Absolutely.
he took 1-3. I was like, what are you doing? But he got it back. Yeah.
Trae was solid again.
Yeah.
I'm really liking what we have with him.
And that's becoming a mainstay for
Moutier was solid. He's looking like the Moutier that a lot of us wanted coming into that draft that year, not knowing KP.
Yeah.
So it was a good win. Solid win.
Good win. Real Shark fan, how you feel?
I feel good, Sim. I feel good, man. It was a shout out to the chat. Shout out to the video chat. Like the chat, like the show, subscribe to the show. Y'all know what it is. Sharks in the water. We had a nice game tonight, man. It was a good win. Our guard play was decent tonight. I think it was decent, man. And Timmy had a good game. He had an overall good game. I think he's on an all-star pace, Sim.
You think so?
And even though he kind of, his defense is mediocre, but he's doing enough, man, and he's changing his game. His shot selection is still a little way out there, but we'll take that all day long, And we won that third quarter, man. Defensively, in that third quarter, it all came together defensively. Sneakers was squealing, and we put the clamps on them, man, for that 35-18, victory of the third quarter, man. I like that, man. But I'm just gonna go back to Timmy, man. Timmy really is changing his game, Sim, and not only on the court, on the sideline too. He's really in tune with his actions, so to speak. He's not really soaking that much. He's really trying to be the leader that we need, and he's really trying to be the leader that Fizdale needs him to be, because they got that strong relationship for many years, so Fizz is really counting on him, man. He's starting to come through, man, and I'm liking what I'm seeing from him, man. Again, he's on an all-star pace this year, man. So far, so good, Sam.
All right. Let me see. What's your tip?
Yo, shout out to the chat, man. Tell Tony Tone stop hating on my crown, man. You hating heavy in the chat. but you can tell by the crown, so I'm feeling real good tonight, man. After every win, I just feel good. I just feel good. It makes tomorrow so much more easier when the Knicks win.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I like the way Frank played. The fouls were just annoying. I felt like he could have got the 20. I hit my echo. I don't know what the thing was. But I feel like he could have got to 20. And but the fouls were just kind of a pain in his butt all night. But he still dropped 14. Played good defense. He had a couple of steals, couple of rebounds. I like the way Tim played. Tim is kind of like a necessary evil right now. Like his field goal percentage may not be the greatest, but we saw how terrible and helpless our offense looks when he's not there. So I find it hard to criticize Tim's offense at this point because you know what, we need it. One thing I noticed was I think when Fizz starts running some more set plays, I think guys like Frank and Knox will play better because I think the offense they run right now is built on a lot of instincts, and those guys they haven't built up enough good offensive instincts. So guys like Trae and Hardaway and sometimes Burke and Cantor, they thrive in that offense because, they're naturally good offensive players, so they could just play off their offense and use their instinct to score. But guys like Frank and Knox are gonna need some called plays for them, like some curls and set post plays. Like, I think when we start seeing some of that, I think we'll see those guys, play a little bit better on the offensive end.
Yeah. All right. Isaiah, what you think, man?
Listen, King, if we doing good right now, we cooking right now, King. Knicks won. Baby mama happy. My other baby mama, my mistress good. My cat's fed. My dogs, man. Listen, we blessed here. We just blessed. Nah, it was a good game, man. Up until we should have blown them out, but it is what it is. Yeah, we gotta hit free throws, man. That was brutal tonight, man. It's just nobody hitting free throws, which we should have been.
70. Yeah,
we should have been won by 20 points.
Yeah, we shot 70% from the line.
Yeah, we got to get better at that.
Hardaway made his, though. You got to give him that. Hardaway made his.
Yeah, you know what, Sam? I got to say one thing that's really scaring me about this team.
Okay.
It's the passing, man. This is getting out of hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting crazy with the passing. This is like what our like we only had 25 assists 2 times.
Well, that's part of that's part of the lack of ball movement, man movement. Sometimes we still relying on his one-on-one play. That's what that leads to. That's where that comes from. That's a byproduct. The lack of assist is a byproduct of not having, an offense that is diverse. You know what I'm saying? Our offense is not really diverse right now.
Yeah.
So the lack of assists is a byproduct of not having a diverse offense. So we'll see. What are you watching? You washing dishes or something?
Who, me?
Yeah.
What am I watching, sir?
No, I said, are you washing dishes or something?
No, I'm cooking.
Oh, okay. I figured you was either washing dishes or cooking chicken.
No, come on, we black, baby.
This man cooking
what we do?
chicken.
It's almost Kwanzaa.
11 o'clock at night.
Oh, no, this for tomorrow, man. This is for tomorrow. Don't do that to me, sir. Don't do it to me.
Okay, it's for your lunch tomorrow?
Yeah, I got work, man, so I got to make sure,
Okay.
Got to eat.
All right. Viv.
So, yeah, I'm going to be back. Yeah, I'm going to cook. I got to
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and mute that out, you know what I'm saying, before you get everybody hungry. Go ahead, Viv, man.
What's going on, Sim? Shout out to the chat. Look, this was kind of it's a good win, but it was pretty ugly in my opinion. I think I had a 5-point spread, but I think it was like 106 to 101 when we predicted the score of the game. But again, it was kind of hard to watch. A lot of not enough passing, in my opinion. However, we got to the line a lot, which is kind of like an anomaly. I don't think we're going to get to the line 45 plus times during a game.
No, but it's not. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to see Tim getting 20 free throws. It's just not going to be the way it happens. Look, Vonleh had a good first quarter, and I don't know what happened afterwards. Fouls were a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Frank, I was telling other people, I think Frank has to learn how to pick his battles wisely. He tends to, I guess, work hard, but he's not working smart at times on defense. So he has to learn how to pick his battles and just be smarter on defense at times. And because he was playing a great game, but when he got fouled out, it was just unfortunate.
Right. He, I don't know. He's just got to. I guess is him being young and being his second year in the league, he still has to learn how to control. I don't want to say control his body. He seems to have decent body control, but just understanding, not to take stupid fouls. And he's an aggressive type of defender, you know. So on those, excuse me, he's going to get fouls on some of those plays. And, you know, we're going to need him. We didn't need him too much down the stretch tonight.
We definitely.
But, you know, in the future, we're going to need him coming down the stretch. And he's not going to be able to get little fouls. It's the little fouls. The big fouls, you know, I don't want to say big fouls, but there's some fouls worth taking. And then there are fouls that just don't make any sense. You know, when a guy's 35, 40 feet away from the basket and not really a threat.
Yeah, that's what that. We saw some of those today, actually, which made no sense. I mean, there's at least 2 fouls that I could recall that, you know, he had no business fouling that person at the time.
Right. And, you know, that comes from some of his aggressive defense on the perimeter, you know. But I will say this. I would rather have him playing aggressive defense on the perimeter and getting those, you know, fouls that we don't want him to get than he not playing defense at all. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, he doesn't have to be aggressive to just lock someone down in that sense. He's almost like a cornerback at times, almost like he puts players on an island. Like he put Trae on an island this game, and he just couldn't do anything.
Yeah. He couldn't do anything. You know, I know he felt like he could really breathe when Frank was out the game. You know, but other than that, you know, I think Frank played a really good game. If he didn't foul out, maybe he could have eclipsed that 20 mark. I think it'll happen sometime this season, though. I think it's going to happen this season.
I think more encouraging the fact that he hit the 3-point ball, and you know, the fact that he got a shot back in rhythm is just more encouraging.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully he can follow it up. You know, that's the thing. Can he follow it up? You know, he's going to be going up against Kyle Lowry Saturday against the Toronto Raptors. We'll see if Frank can follow it up.
Yeah, I think he got his first shot out of a pretty easy basket. I forgot, was it a mid-range shot or maybe it was I forgot what shot it was. But he had a nice fadeaway in the post. So you know, I feel like for Frank, if he gets an easier shot first off rather than, you know, trying to shoot threes, it'll help him get a rhythm.
Yeah, and you know, he you know, they didn't really try to find any way for him to get himself going. It's not like they designed anything for him. You know, his first three, he didn't look confident shooting it, bricked it, clanked it off the back of the iron. And then he hit that fadeaway over top of Trae Young, and that kind of got him, you know, feeling a little bit smoother, you know, and you can see his confidence start to pick up. But let me get to a couple of phone calls, and then I'm going to review the keys to success, and we'll go on from there. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping, my man? Or lady?
What up?
I'm chilling. What's going on?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yo, that echoes on Sim's side.
I'm not sure.
Viz.
Go ahead. What's popping?
I want to shout out the video chat, Viz, and I want to shout out everybody, the chat Mahadi, everybody. But I haven't called in for like three months or some shit like that. I mean, my bad. But yeah, tonight's win got me a little hype.
All right, that's what's up. Good, man. We 4-8.
And also, like, even the losses, we've been playing good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was calling in, I was like, yo, I want to focus on. Like when I called in, we was talking about picking up Butler, like the free agency, and I was like, I just want to talk about what we got.
What we have.
Like, I've been saying the three amigos for the last 2 months, and you already know.
Yeah.
Jerome Cornette.
Right. You know, focus on what we have. Exactly.
Like, we got a nice squad. We got a good team. Like, we compete. Even we compete regardless. And when KP ain't even here. We don't got, like, and Timmy's stepping up. I'll just call it because I'm so hyped about, you know, the game.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I appreciate the call, bro. I appreciate the call.
And and still, I love what you do, and I'm so happy.
All right, man. Well, hopefully,
bringing everybody together. Trae, what's Trae? What's the name? Like, and then CK2K. Everybody, you just bringing all the fans together.
That's it.
That's what. Not just you. It's just all of us coming together because it's real right now.
That's it. That's what we want to do, my man. That's what we want to do
right now, and we just got to focus on what we got. We can't take the losses too bad.
Right.
We got to keep that head up and know that we on the proper path because I like I said, I was saying back then, I believe in the management right now, and the coach. Like it's a little scary because like when he changed up the lineups and all that. At first we was all like, "Yo, what's going on?" But now we realize, yo, he's just trying to see. He's trying to build the chemistry.
Trying to see what's going on. Yeah.
He's trying to see. You know what I mean? We need our starters definitely, and we need our bench. We gotta see who they are.
All right.
And where they fit.
I feel you.
I want Frank starting.
Well, you know, I mean, he played well tonight, so you know he played well tonight, so he saved himself. And call, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. He saved, you know, I don't want to say he saved himself, but you know, he let everybody know, listen, I want to keep this position. And you can see, you know, one time he went down the lane and he missed, you know, a point blank layup and he screamed, you know what I mean? He's getting frustrated at himself a little bit. He's getting frustrated at himself a little bit because he knows what he can do. But it's not always happening on the court the way he wants it to happen. And you can see him starting to get frustrated and beating himself up a little bit. You don't want him doing it too much, because if you beat yourself up too much, you know, then, you know, you get to the point where it's hard for you to come back out of it if you're beating yourself up too much, you know. But you can see it. You know, he wants it. He wants it. I don't think, you know, I get frustrated when people question his heart. You know what I mean? I think the kid definitely wants it. You know, he's just got to. Troy Fleck, you said he has 0 touch around the basket. He definitely has to get a little bit more touch. And you find that with defensive guys. That's one of the reasons that defensive guys have a hard time scoring. I don't know what it is. With defensive guys, they don't have that touch. Just that little touch. You know, that feathery touch that puts the ball in, you know, that allows the ball to bounce around the rim and go in. You know, I've coached a lot of players, and I've come across a lot of players who are really, really good defensively. And, you know, they have the right form. They can hit shots, but sometimes they miss some of the easiest shots because, like Troy said, they don't have that touch. Just that feathery touch that allows the ball to go up nice and soft to the hoop. And it's hard, you know, it's something that you've got to work on to develop to get that kind of a touch. Everyone doesn't have it. You know, you got to work on floating the ball up high over top of the rim. It's something, you know, you really got to focus on it, floating it. You know. Call Leon live with nothing but Knicks. What's popping?
Yo. What's up, Sam?
I'm chilling, man. What's going on? Who's this?
Yo, this your boy Reem, man.
Hey, what's popping, bro? How you doing?
I'm good. Yo, I got 2 questions for you, right?
All right.
So, first question is, what do you think about Trae Burke and what's his name not getting minutes tonight? Lance.
Well, Lance, I don't know. You know, I don't know if it was just a coach's decision because of play, or if it was. You know, I know he had I don't know if it was his ankle or his leg was kind of sore.
Right.
You know, so I don't know if it was that or if it's because of his play on the floor. Trae Burke, we're definitely going to talk about Trae Burke I think Trae Burke is in the doghouse right now. Just because he doesn't bring what the coach wants on the floor, on the offensive side of the floor, or the defensive side of the floor, as a matter for that matter. Trae Burke doesn't really. When Trae Burke is in the game, the offense is stagnant. Because
all right. So check it. So second question, I just want to run through this quick. That way I don't take up too much time and stuff like that. But so second question is, what do you think about Moody's performance? Mr. Mud, that's what I call him, Mr. Mud. What do you think about his performance?
So far, since he's come back from injury, he's looked good. I think he's looked pretty good. He's
Yo, bro, I think he's like floor general material. Although his shot might not be there, but I think he's like floor general material.
Yeah. He's the kind of a guy. He's a pass first type of a point guard too. He's so when he comes on the floor, he does the same thing that Frank does, right? He's looking to get people involved. Maybe he goes to the basket a little bit more than Frank. He's another guy that doesn't have much touch on his shot. He needs to develop that. But he also has size, and that's something that Trae Burke lacks. So Moutier has a little bit more size.
Small, he's a small fry,
Yeah, and the thing, even though Moutier, you like to have a change of pace person, and I think that change of pace person now is Trae. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I just want to say, I just want to give a shout out to the chat, everybody in there and stuff like that. And you already know, next game, I'll be back on the call, man.
All right. Appreciate the call, my man.
Brother.
All right, peace. All right, let's talk about these keys review. Let's review the keys of the game and see how we did and compare to the keys to success earlier in the pregame show. So if you haven't seen the pregame show, go back and look at the pregame show. It's not that long. You'll see what my keys to success were. You'll see what my key matchup was. And you'll also see, my team comparison. So go back and check out the pregame. Even though this game is over, still go back and check out the pregame. And then you'll know why I have these keys review. All right. My keys review, I'm going to bring this on over here. Now, here's my keys to success for tonight's game. Have a strong start. Get Frank going. We needed to get Frank going. He needed it for his confidence. Capitalize on turnovers. We needed to stop switching. Right? Guard the point. Guard that pick and roll. And then fourth quarter execution. So let's start off with strong start. I'm giving the strong start a no. Right, because we started off strong, and I'm considering a strong start the first quarter. That's what I'm considering a strong start. I'm observing the entire fourth quarter. And in that fourth quarter, the entire first quarter. In that first quarter, we started off good, and then we let them back. Second unit came in, and we let them back. We should have had a 10-point lead leaving that first quarter. It was tied 26-26. So I'm giving it a no, even. Because I think we should have had a 10-point lead leaving that first quarter. I keep wanting to say fourth quarter, leaving that first quarter. So obviously it wasn't awful because it was 26-26 after the first. But I feel like we should have had a 10-point lead coming out of that first quarter. Okay. Frank Ntilikina. Did we get Frank Ntilikina going? We did get Frank going. I don't want to say that we did anything deliberate to get him going, though. I didn't really see us do anything. I didn't see us deliberately try to get Frank going. he took what was given to him and he capitalized on most of it. He shot 50% from the, well, I don't want to say most of it. He shot 50% from the field, but he capitalized on 50% of it, which is good. He was 5 for 10 from the field for 14 points. All right, so Frank got going, and I think that's a big key because we need production from that point guard spot. And then, of course, Moutier got going as well. All right. Capitalize on turnovers. Did we capitalize on turnovers? Yes, we did. We capitalized on turnovers. The Atlanta Hawks lead the league in turnovers. I think 19 turnovers per game. We had to, if we wanted to win this game, we had to capitalize on their mistakes. We do a good job capitalizing on other teams' mistakes so far this season. We had to capitalize on the Hawks' mistakes, and we did. We capitalized on their mistakes. The Hawks had 17 turnovers. I do not have the number of points we had against them versus turnovers, but we did a good job tonight capitalizing on their turnovers. So, kudos to the team. And listen, it's something that we've been doing well all season. I expect us to continue doing well. I hope that we're going to continue to do well this season, capitalizing off of turnovers, because that's a key. That's a key. And if we can keep our turnovers down, capitalize off of the opposing team's turnovers, then we're going to be in position to win every game. If we can do those things, we'll be in good position to win games. I'm proud that the team did that tonight. In any night that they do it, capitalize off these guys' turnovers. They're giving you points. They're giving you extra possessions. You got to win it when it happens. You got to win it. All right, so we did that. Next, stop switching / guard the pick and roll. Well, I mean, we did an okay job. I'm going to give us a check. We did an okay job. Still some switching, but, right from the beginning of the game, Frank was on Trae Young, and I seen him fight over the top of the screen to make sure that he was on Trae Young. I do believe that Fizdale has been harping on them about guarding your own man, not switching so easily, not just giving up and doing the switch because it's an easy thing to do. So I think they did a decent job guarding the pick and roll, although they scored a decent job not switching. Some teams are going to score in the pick and roll, but they did a decent job defensively tonight, I think. Fourth quarter execution was in the can. We lost the fourth quarter tonight. We lose by 8, 9, 10 points or whatever, 9 points. We lost that fourth quarter. Execution was bad. Turnovers in the fourth quarter, bad shots in the fourth quarter. We managed to pull the game out, but it wasn't a great fourth quarter in my opinion. So we're lucky to get a win without having a great fourth quarter, but this is still a problem for us. Fourth quarter execution is still a problem for us, and we've got to find a way. Well, I mean, we're young, and it's going to take learning. But we got to find a way to start winning those fourth quarters or executing better in the fourth quarter. All right. Let's talk about players. That was the reviews. The Keys review. I need a better name than Keys review. I'll figure out something. But that was the review of the keys to success. But now I want to talk about players and player breakdowns. Because we have a lot to talk about in this area tonight. The first thing I want to talk about is Trae Burke. Trae Burke played 0 minutes tonight. He got the big goose egg tonight. 0 minutes tonight for Trae Burke. I would say he is officially in David Fizdale's doghouse. My question is, does it have to do with strictly basketball, or is there more? You know what I'm saying? Or is there more? We know that Trae Burke doesn't bring everything that Coach Fizdale wants. He's not a big point guard. He doesn't, because of his size, he can't really play the kind of defense that Fizdale wants. and he's a scoring guard, a small scoring guard. Burke is just, he's going to be, hopefully on some team he can land and be a sixth man that can come in, light it up for a few minutes. But a lot of teams want to play positionless basketball, and that means that you've got to be able to switch on the defensive end. You've got to be able to play multiple positions on the defensive end of the floor, and that's where Trae Burke is severely limited. Severely limited. So I don't know what's in store for Trae Burke in the future with this team right now, because the emergence of Alonzo Trier has kind of nullified what Trae Burke gives us, right? Trae Burke was the one guy that could give you consistent penetration to the hoop. He could hit that mid-range shot. He could play with some speed and tenacity going to the hoop. Now you got Alonzo Trier. Alonzo Trier can do those same exact things, but he's bigger than Trae Burke, plays better defense than Trae Burke. And he's actually more aggressive going to the basket when he does go to the basket than Trae Burke is. So what's going to happen with Trae Burke? And we have some more questions. We'll talk about Frank and his resurgence tonight. We'll talk about Alonzo Trier and can he remain consistent? We'll talk about Kevin Knox and will he eventually produce for us? But let's talk about Trae Burke first. So I want to open up the video chat. I want to know what you guys think. We got the Prince joined us. We got Guillermo joining us. So Prince, I'm coming to you, man. I want to know what you think. Trae Burke, is he in the doghouse? Is he done? Tell me what you think, man. Is he done, Trae Burke? Prince, can you hear me? Not sure Prince can hear me. I'm gonna call to Guillermo. Guillermo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, man.
Good, man.
So tell me, Trae Burke, he's in the doghouse. Do you think he gets back out the doghouse, or do you think he's done? Is his time done in New York?
It sucks, man, because I still think he's a weapon, man. But with the way the team is going, Sim, man, I don't know, man. Trae just looks too good, man. He looks too good, and he's following the script. I have to go back and watch the games to see exactly, outside of defense, which you can't really control. I want to see exactly where he's messing up besides some of the ISO stuff he's doing. Right. But they call him ISO Sim, and he's excelling at that. And Burke is not excelling as much. But I will say one thing before I go on. I don't know if it's a Celtics game. I brought this up before. Trae Burke can come off the bench and give you buckets. He kept us in one of those games. I forgot. So I don't know, Sim, but if we don't play him, he doesn't look good for us to trade. He does his value as an asset to trade goes down, so he has to play him somehow. But with Trae coming in and Dotson and all these other guards playing better, it's hard to see where he fits them. So yeah, it is, and I feel bad for him a little bit because I know how much he was expecting this to be a career year for him, and I kind of feel bad for him a little bit, man. And it sucks because that's how. The way he played last year, when he from the G League to the when he got to NBA, that became like his renaissance.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It sucks because he was with the older regime, but now this new regime, they're looking at him like, all right, you're not as effective anymore. We got Trae, who's taller, who's bigger, faster, who's doing that stuff at a better rate than you. So it's like it just sucks because he was a reclamation project. I love reclamation projects, but. I don't know, Sim. I don't know. I'd love to see if you can watch the film and tell me where he's got a doghouse exactly, or if you could read some reports, because I don't know. Maybe he's saying some things or act a certain way, but I don't know, Sim. I can't call it.
I don't know if he's in the doghouse because of his attitude or anything like that. I haven't heard anything about that. I really feel like it's just basketball. He's in the doghouse because of basketball and what he cannot bring to the team.
I'll say one thing before you go on. When he's supposed to make certain passes, it looks really lazy. I've seen a lot of turnovers and potential turnovers when he lazily passes the ball. So maybe that could be it, because look, the defense he can't control, and then especially against the Warriors, that step back, that stuff, and not moving the ball around, that hurts him. But he is who he is, Sim. So I don't know,
man. Yeah, that's true. Prince,
what's going on, Sim?
What's up, man? What do you think?
I feel bad for my boy Burke. I really do, man. Like you said, it just in today's game, it just might not be enough basketball to go around right now. With Moutier coming back and you trying to get Frank, reacculated and get his shot working again. It's just tough. We ain't seen Baker. You know what I'm saying? So that's good. I didn't see Lance play in this game, but I picked up in the second quarter, so maybe y'all can tell me more. But we didn't see Lance. So, so to see that Fizz is, like everybody said a couple chats ago, that he's cutting that bench down. So, it's showing that now everybody, like what we talked about, he's holding people accountable. And I think Trae Burke, it sucks. But again, we see he's not Trae Burke of last year. He ain't putting up the Trae Trier's putting up. Also, he's not distributing the ball as good as Moutier or Frank. So again, when you the odd man out, what can you do? You can't force him into the lineup if he's not helping our team, and he's just not right now. So it sucks, like you said, Fizz. Sim, I feel bad for him, but maybe the year progress. Like you said, pray, knock on wood, nobody get hurt. We may need him, but prayfully, some teams will start calling. Maybe Phoenix, maybe want to trade. So we'll just see. But regardless, I just wish the kid the best of luck, and I hope that he continues to play good and play hard. It does suck. It's a business, but it is what it is.
I mean, honestly, I'm not sure there's much of a market for Trae Burke. I think him being on the bench and getting benched by Fizdale really kind of, tells a lot of other teams, yeah, this is exactly the guy that we thought that he was, and this is the reason why he didn't play in Utah. This is the reason why he didn't play in Washington. I don't know how much of a market there is for Trae Burke besides him being not a throw-in, but a guy that helps to, I guess a throw-in, a guy that helps to make salaries match, honestly. And then what'll happen is some team will get him and they'll be forced to play him, and he'll come in and he'll light it up. I can see that happening. I can see it happening right now. He gets traded with Courtney Lee or someone, and, to make salaries match. And then he goes somewhere, they get some injuries, and he goes and he lights it up. I can see it happening with Trae Burke. I could see him. Listen, if you think back a few years ago, this is where I said this a long time ago. Now, I did think that with his work ethic and the way he was working, maybe he could come in and do something this year. I started to buy into him. I see him the way Nate Robinson was a few years back. If you recall, Nate Robinson would say not be picked up, and then there would be an injury, and a team would pick up Nate Robinson, and then he'd come in and start crushing it. And then next thing you know, he's not on that team. Then the following season, he's no longer on that team, right? He did it with the Chicago Bulls a few times. I kind of see Trae Burke that same way. I kind of see it that same way. You know what I mean? A team doesn't have a point guard. Okay, let's go get Trae Burke. We know he can come in and do a few things, light it up, but he doesn't stick anywhere. That's what happened with Nate Robinson. I'm starting to feel like it might happen with Trae Burke. We'll see. I don't know. Tony Crow, man, what you think?
Yo, man. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Y'all acting like Trae Burke on the trading block already, man. I'm gonna say it like this: if Frank didn't have the game he had today, it'd be Trae Burke right back up in the lineup. Not necessarily starting, but it'd be next man up. That's all it is. The other guys are playing what.
But see, I'm not sure. The reason why I'm not sure about that is because in the first half, Frank went out, and Frank got 2 fouls in the first quarter, went out, right? 9 minutes in the second quarter, instead of subbing it, like the offense was going to crap, instead of subbing in Trae Burke, They put Frank back in, and he had 2 fouls. And
No, what I'm saying is, had he had a full bad game, like we've seen Frank get benched. We've seen Frank get benched.
Yeah.
And we've seen him have 3 consecutive bad games.
Right.
I'm saying there's no reason to get low on Burke just yet.
Well,
It's a next man up policy. He's at the bottom right now, but I guarantee when it's his turn to get his shot again, he'll be right back in there.
We'll see.
Everybody was hating Moutier until these past three games.
I don't think anybody is hating on Trae Burke, though. I don't think anybody is hating on Trae Burke. Like Guillermo just said, I feel bad for him because he was a reclamation project and it looked like he was gonna have a career year. I don't think anyone's really hating. I just think that for some reason, if you can look at it today in the fourth quarter, right? And now maybe he hadn't played all game, and so you don't want to put him in cold. But in the fourth quarter, Frank fouled out. Moutier's knee or his foot or whatever was hurt, right? They went without a point guard on the floor and just kept, ran it with Trae, just ran it with Trae and Hardaway and Dotson. Without a point guard.
You're absolutely right.
I think that says something.
I just don't think his time is up. That's all I'm saying. Like I don't think he's gonna be the one that gets traded or cut for Trae to stay. I think that's gonna be a flip with Cornette.
Yeah, that might be. But I'm just looking to see if Trae's emergence has kind of nullified what Trae Burke gives us, and we'll see how that goes. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes because it was it was pretty striking to me that Fizdale, even though both point guards were down, Fizdale didn't even look his way. That says a lot to me because if I have a point guard that I think is capable on my bench, and both of my point guards go down and can't play, then I'm gonna say, okay, come on, you the next man up. Just like you said, next man up, right? You the next man up. He didn't even look his way. So I don't know. There's something in there. There's something going on with it. It's either because Trae is here, or maybe there's something else going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. The man just played 20 minutes the other night. Now he's playing 0. And I haven't heard of any injuries either. You know what I mean? Real Shark fan, what you think, man?
Yeah, I agree with you, Sam. He went from 20 to 0. That's one thing. And then I heard in the press conference tonight after the game, Fizz was like, oh, nah, that's my go-to. He know he's my go-to. He knows whenever I call him, he knows to be ready, yada, yada, yada. Okay, but let's deal with reality. You're still not playing him, man. And I believe he may be a throw-in. He may be a throw-in. That's what he said. And he said he's my go-to. But come on, man. He's just trying to smooth him over. I think he's a throw-in. Like you said, Sam, because he's not productive. He hasn't been productive. When he was out there his last couple of games, his production was down. It was down. And Fizz, he kind of got a short leash if your defense is down and your offensive game is down too. He don't really have a lot of patience for players like that, So I believe it's something going on behind the scenes.
I hope not, because I wanted to be peaceful. Trae Burke this year, so far, is averaging 9.5 points, 2.1 rebounds, 3.4 assists per game.
But at the same time, Trae played 36 minutes tonight.
Mm-hmm.
He dropped 16. He had 16 points, and from the field, and we all was calling for him to get his minutes up. So where he was going to get those minutes from? They got to come from somewhere,
right?
I guess Trae Burke was the one.
I guess so.
It is what it is. Nobody's hating on him, like you said, but It is what it is. This is basketball. Ain't nothing personal, man.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I feel bad for him because I thought he was. I really did think he was. I started to really buy in and think he was going to have a career year this year. I guess we'll see what happens there. But
when players step up, Sim, you know how it goes, Sim.
Yeah.
You got to go with the good players, man.
Yep.
You got to go who's following the script. You have to.
Cause like you said, Fisdale said, he's my guy. He knows he's my guy. He knows that he's my go-to. But you lost 2 point guards tonight, and you didn't go to him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I mean? Ant, what you think, Ant?
Man, I say it all the time, man. You're not gonna last long in this league if you don't have an elite skill. And the problem with Trey Burke is he does not have an elite skill. Like, you can't list anything he's elite at. He's okay at everything. He's not super fast. He's not a great shooter. He's not a great passer. He's not a great defender. He's small. Contrary to a lot of Knicks fans, he's not a great scorer. I feel like us Knicks fans last year kind of labeled him this scorer that he's never been, ever, besides the 29 games. And I remember at the beginning of the year, I referred to, I'm not calling him a stripper, but I referred to us falling in love with the stripper. And I warned people, I said, Trey, this is not the guy, this guy for the 29 games, that's not Trey Burke. I said it, that's not Trey Burke. And I think he just come back down to his mean. I think he just came back down to his mean. I think this is who he is. And the problem is Frank may not be great at everything, but Frank has an elite skill. Moody may not be great at everything, but at the end of the day, he's 6'5", and he can get into the paint whenever he wants, and he's a good passer. So being okay at everything is the best way to find yourself outside of the league. You have to develop an elite skill, and unfortunately, Burke doesn't have that. He doesn't have an elite skill. So when we put him out there, he doesn't really move the needle too much because he does nothing to make the other team change up its scheme. He just doesn't. It's nothing elite about him. So, unless he becomes an elite shooter over time, I just don't see his elite skill that's going to allow him to play major minutes in this league. I don't see it.
Now, against the Chicago Bulls, he played 23 minutes. He was 3 for 7 from the field. I think he had 7 points. Yeah, 7 points. 3 for 7 from the field. He had 7 points. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. He had 8 points. That was against the Chicago Bulls in 23 minutes. See, my thing always has been with Trey Burke. It's just tough because when Trey Burke is being used, like when he came in against Chicago, they want him to be that point guard that's going to control the offense and do those type of things. And I've always said that's not when he's at his best. In my opinion, when Trey Burke is at his best is when you are able to, when he's able to just, you just let him go. You know what I'm saying? And just tell him to go get it whenever you want to go get it. That's when I feel like he's at his best. Right now, they kind of use him as a guard. They use him as another facilitator. I just don't know if that's best for Trey Burke. But the problem, if that's where Fizz wants to use him, then that's what he has to learn how to do. And the issue is, he can't. He's not gonna do it. Not that he doesn't want to. I don't think he can because it's not in his nature. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with Trey Burke, man. It's going to be an interesting story, I think, for the remainder of this season, as long as he's not getting burned. I'm going to take one more on that, then I'm going to go on to another question. Viv, what's your take with Trey Burke, man?
It's tough. I think everyone kind of hit it on the nail. It's just you can't play everybody if you want to achieve some sort of consistency on offense and defense. Eventually, it comes down to the point where you have to tighten up the rotation. And over the last 3 or 4 games, we've seen you've seen Moody separate himself out from Burke just because of the fact that he can, facilitate the offense a little bit better. and he could get to the paint a little bit better.
Right.
And unfortunately for Burke, I mean, it's not even nothing behind the scenes or anything. It's just the fact that we can't play every guard. It happened to Ron Baker. It happened to Lance. It's already happened to Lance Thomas at the 3 and the 4. It's probably going to happen to Mario Zonia soon once Kevin Knox gets his conditioning up. But I mean, there's nothing you could do. If you look at Burke's percentages, right? Like last year, everyone harped on him because he shot over 50% for the field, of which most of that percentage was comprised of the fact that he shot really well from 0 to 3 feet, like 73%. And then he shot really well from the long 2, which is about 57%. And he took 30% of his shots from long 2. Now, those percentages kind of rebalance itself a little bit, but he still shoots about 20% of his shots from long 2. However, that percentage went from 57% last year to this year 38%. And all of his percentages outside of maybe a shot from 3 to 10 feet, which is still a mid-range shot, all of his other percentages went down. And the ratio is still about the same. So he's shooting 40% this year. So, he's not able to compensate for that because all of his shooting has regressed to what it was originally, like regressed to average, pretty much regressed to the norm. So unless he has like a magical shooting streak, it's kind of hard to supplant Moutier or whoever's on the bench. If it's Frank's on the bench, whatever happens, it's hard to supplant either one to get backup point guard minutes.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, you look at it last year, the whole Willie Hernan-Gomez saga, right? Once we got Cantor, right? Willie couldn't play because, you had Cantor starting and you had to play Kyle O'Quinn, because if you didn't play Kyle O'Quinn, there's no way in the world you're going to play two centers that can't play any defense. So Willie was the odd man out, but Willie Hernan-Gomez could clearly play. It's just the fact that Cantor was a better player than him, which made sense last year.
Right.
Unfortunately, Willie demanded a trade, and then things. I mean, it ended up working out for us now, but that's just that same thing's going on with Trae Burke.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You brought up Kevin Knox. Tonight Kevin Knox, how many minutes did he get?
He must have got less than 10. Did he get 10 minutes?
I think like maybe less than 10 minutes tonight.
Could we get that man 20 minutes a game, please?
I don't think Knox is ready conditioning wise to get more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, he was 0 for 6 from the field. Any concerns about Kevin Knox?
Not worries. It's just that
I need 20 minutes a game from him.
They have to get him back, conditioned, and I don't know if they're ready to drive into the fire just yet.
Stop shooting because he ain't made a shot.
He's forcing too many shots. He needs to figure out how to attack off the ball. He needs to get the rest of his game worked out.
Kevin Knox tonight played 9 minutes and 10 seconds. He was 0 for 6 from the field. Didn't do much with his time in the game. 0 for 3 from 3, of course.
He's forcing it, and I think they had something earlier on the broadcast. They mentioned that to get Frank out of his shooting slump, the assistant coach pretty much tried to get him just to hit, score inside the paint during practice, and he kind of told Frank to kind of focus on the other parts of his game, and eventually the shooting will come back into form. And I think that same mantra has to apply to Kevin Knox. You gotta focus on the smaller things, get back into focus with some of like the other parts of your game, and his rhythm will come back.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Let me see who we got. Isaiah.
What's going on, son?
You worried about Kevin Knox at all?
No. If you worried about a 19-year-old, then there's something wrong with you.
Okay.
He's fine. He'll be fine. He's fine. It's gonna be okay. He's learning. He's coming back from injuries. He's a pup. He'll be fine. He's good. He's light skinned. He's fine.
I don't know if light skinned, just because he's light skinned, I don't know if that equates to the basketball court.
It does a little bit. We got some great light skinned players in NBA history.
Might equate to some other things. I don't know how much on the basketball court.
But no, man, he'll get fine. I think he got to get back in rhythm. Once he gets like a couple like couple 20 minutes because his last game before the Celtics game, he scored 17 points. So we know he can do it. So he could be fine.
Well, yeah, I mean, we know he can do it, and obviously he's going to have ups and downs because it's his rookie year. Hopefully his ankle is totally healed so they can feel comfortable putting him on the floor. And I guess, Fizdale has to find where he fits back in the rotation. That's not always easy. You know what I'm saying? If you had something that you kind of settled in on, and Isaiah's still cooking his lunch, if you had something that you kind of settled in on, then, it's not always easy to just, fit somebody back into that lineup. We'll see. We got Rodney Blaze. Rodney Blaze new to the video chat. So let's talk to Rodney Blaze.
Sim, can you hear me? Yo, I'm new to this right here, yo. It's messing me up right now a little bit.
Yeah. It's something that you gotta learn. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn it. Like when I'm talking, you'll be able to hear me talking and other people talking. But on your screen, you should be able to mute other people as well.
Yeah, I muted everybody else, but I feel like I'm hearing you mad late. I don't really know what's going on, but can you hear me clear though?
I can hear you nice and clear.
All right, yo, shout out to the chat. Where's my man Who's Mark at? Yo, that's my dude.
Now, I don't know, sometimes Who's Mark goes missing. You know what I mean? Sometimes instead of Who's Mark is Where's Mark.
What we talking about right now, specifics?
So, we're just kind of talking about players, breaking down players. We would talk about Trae Burke right now. We're talking about Kevin Knox.
Knox, the biggest issue I see with Knox, he a little rusty, and he need to get his weight up. If you notice when he drives the ball, he throwing his body all different type of ankles. He needs to get in the gym. He needs to get stronger. You know what I mean? His shot will fall. He hasn't played in a couple of games. I'm not worried about his shot falling.
He hasn't played in this is his second game back. Before then, he missed 7 games, I think it was.
You know what I mean? So he just need to play a couple more minutes, play a couple more games, get back into shape. But mainly, he just needs to get stronger. He just throws the ball like he can't. I don't know, man. He can't take contact at the paint yet. You know what I mean? Which is why I see why he tries to develop his floater. Mm-hmm. But I think he needs to do a lot of stop and pops because he really can't get all the way to the basket just yet.
Okay. And that's going to take him learning. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take him learning as a young man and a young player. It's going to take him learning how to just maneuver in the NBA. You know what I mean? Hit those, just build his repertoire in the NBA on shots to hit. I think he gets good shots. He's just not accurate yet.
Yeah, he's just missing. I'm not mad when you miss open shots. What bugs me, just like Ant said earlier, the necessary evil that is Tim Hardaway, that guy, man, yo, I accept it because I guess he is our number one option. Mm-hmm. But that guy, he has to. Oh my God, he has to go. He gotta go. I can't deal with Tim. I just can't deal with Tim. And the thing is, he has that arrogance about him that every team needs. Every team needs a guy that thinks he's better than he is. So right now, we're going to have to deal with it because he has that confidence. But, yo, his shot selections, I'm watching the game. I don't got cable, so I use my laptop. I'm watching the game. I'm ready to break my laptop. Mind you, I'm in school. I need the laptop for homework. I'm ready to risk it all and break the laptop because, yo, Tim, he has this attitude of, I want to put the team on my back. Bro, you're not that guy. Swing them. Right now, Sim, I trust Trae before I trust Tim to close.
I mean, they both did it tonight, though. I mean, you gotta give Tim. He took a couple of bad shots, but he hit some big shots tonight.
Sim, what did he do tonight, though? Realistically, what did he do? If ATL was a better defensive team, right, or a better team, period, in general, would we have won this game? We won because we were playing a mediocre team. And listen, I'm a man. I'm a type of guy. I'll give you your props when it's due.
Go ahead.
I'm getting confused because I'm hearing you in the background.
Yeah.
But I'll give you the props when it's due. But you kind of have to I like people who play the right way, which is Frank. You know what I mean? Frank, I tweeted at you earlier. Frank gives me headaches, but I accept his headaches because he plays the right way. The ticky-tack fouls, he's playing aggressive, whatever. We can learn from that. but he plays the right way. Open shots. He gets people involved. Even Trae sometimes. Trae got this little ball hog about him where he doesn't pass the ball. Like even when he scores, it's like it could have been easier than that. But that's fine. But that's why I like Frank to balance it out, because Frank's the guy, even though I know fans kill him, they want him to take 80 shots a game. That's not what he does. He makes the right play. You know what I mean? But to go back to the main point that we were talking about, Burke, like Ant said, he doesn't do anything overwhelmingly good. Decent score. He tries on defense, but he's undersized. Decent passer, you know what I mean? I felt like if he was a scorer like Kemba Walker, he'll get burned. Kemba Walker's undersized, but an elite scorer, you know what I mean? So he doesn't do anything extremely well, so he has to ride the pine. He has to ride the pine, you know what I mean? Moutier,
good points.
Moutier's chips to me too. I think Moutier's chips, but I'm one of those guys. He's been playing well, so hey, give him the burn. But Moutier, I think Moutier's chips though. But you know what I mean? He's been playing well. I like Fizz. You feed the hot hand. That's really what I like about Fizz.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you, and then I'm gonna go on. Will Frank have a repeat performance? Did Frank fully get off the schneid in this game? Is he fully off, or do you think he's gonna? There's gonna be, of course, it's a long season, right? So there's going to be games where he's gonna have more games like he had the previous game. Okay.
Do I think he's gonna repeat his performance?
Do you think that he can start to play more consistent basketball?
The reason why I think he can play more consistent basketball is because he takes the right shots. It's just you can't really blame him if they're not going in, because that simply means that he just can't shoot that well yet. You know what I mean? But he doesn't force the issue. He takes the right shots. So I'm not really upset with him. But to answer your question directly, do I think he's gonna have a repeat performance? He always plays strap defense, but offensively, I think next game he'll give us 7 and 9. I'll take 7 and 9 and elite defense from Frank personally. I don't know how you feel about it.
I would take it too. I would take that too. All right. Let me get to Guillermo. Now, is Frank fully off the schneid where he can put together a couple of games instead of just 2 games in a row? He can give us 3, 4, 5 games where he's, giving us double-digit points or just shooting a good percentage from the field. Some assists, rebounds. Is he off the schneid?
No, he's not off the schneid. He shot 5 for 10 tonight, which is great. 2 for 4 from 3-pointer, which is great. 2 for 2 from the free throw line. He has to. I mean, I saw one where they called him aggressive on a Bleacher Report for replay. Where he drove to the basket. He needs to do that constantly, Sim. Like I said, pick and rolls. He has to get himself into a rhythm. One game against the Hawks, who are, let's be honest, they're pretty bad. Is not going to get you up the schneid. But we see him do this against the Warriors, man. So he needs to constantly do this. He needs to do this early, Sim. Like you talk about getting to a fast start. Do this early, Sim. Get guys into foul trouble. Push the envelope. Stop settling for jumpers, bro. Like someone just said it. He needs to post more. I've been saying this for how long? When Frank gets into that little paint, Sim, and he does that little catch to the point guard on his hip, and he throws it for the gratuitous bounce off the backboard, and it hits in, and he starts getting those little floaters and little jumpers in. He's cooking, Sim. We've seen it, Sim. So he needs to do that. I don't know who it is who has to put the battery in his back. They gotta tell him, yo, Frank, no more shooting. I need to see you go to the basket. I don't care if you get stolen. I don't care if you lose a ball. I need to see you drop to the basket 3 times this quarter, bro. He's never going to be off the shot. He's a work in progress, but you got to see it constantly, Sim.
Okay. All right. I want to see more pick and roll. I'm not seeing enough pick and roll. I want to see more pick and roll with him and Mitch Robinson. I'm not seeing enough of it.
Sim, also Mitch Robinson got to learn how to shoot, man, because when you only have the pick and roll with, like, you know what Mitch is going to do, and there's only one thing he's going to do. He has to develop a shot, Sim.
He's got to. Yeah, we've been talking about it. He's got to catch the ball.
Yes.
You see a lot of times guards penetrating, kicking the ball, and he's not ready for it. He needs to get his hands ready and be ready, to catch that ball and go up with it. We did see him hit a little fadeaway today, though. Rob the Knick, what's popping, man?
Ain't nothing.
Chilling, man.
Listen,
Is Frank off the
so
side?
not even close.
Not even close.
Frank is. And look, when Frank fouled out the game, man, it looked like the look on his face was like it was relief that this was over. Frank don't show confidence yet.
You said it.
Frank needs to show. He doesn't show confidence. It seems.
You said.
And y'all know I like Frank. It's not that I like Frank. Frank needs this. I don't see.
So you said that it didn't look like he was. It looked like he was relieved that he was off the floor. I don't know. I feel like Frank gets frustrated with himself. You seen it tonight. He missed that layup when he went to the basket, missed the layup, and started screaming at himself because he missed the layup. I think he does lack confidence though. In his shot. I think that's the only area that he really lacks confidence in his shot. That first 3-point shot that he took, he didn't take it with confidence at all. He was wide open. He took it with no confidence. He took it because he had to take it because he was wide open, right? You have to take that shot. But I didn't see it as a confident shot. As the game went on, his shot got a little bit more confident. He's the kind of guy that needs to see it go in, I think, before he gets that confidence up. And I for one, right now, don't think he's off the schneid. You know what I'm saying? I think that, he's going to have to fight through a couple of things before you see him maybe get off the schneid. If he does get off the schneid, I don't know. But I don't think, we're fully done. We're going to continue to see him go up and down, up and down, up and down. I think he will average, if he continues to start at the point guard spot, I think he'll average 10 points. 5 assists. Right now, he's only averaging 3.8. Part of that is because we're such a bad shooting team. And that's something else I want to talk about. I'm going to get to this phone call. I want to talk about that, because we talk a lot about how we don't penetrate to the basket. But a lot of people don't see some of the things that prevent us from penetrating to the basket. So I want to talk about that in a minute. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. Hey, what's poppin', man? It's hard for me to hear you.
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. If you can get a little closer to the mic.
I think, you know what? I'm gonna try another headpiece. I'm gonna call back.
Okay. All right, cool. So basically, I'll get to what I was gonna say. There's a few issues going on with us penetrating to the basket, in my opinion. All right, one of them, has to do with our big man not being able to shoot that mid-range jumper. We talked about that. That's one of the issues that's going on with us penetrating to the basket. Another issue is our bad shooting, right? If you shoot 43% from the field, even tonight, we shot 44. We shot under 45% from the field. If you're shooting 43% from the field, teams don't respect your jump shot. They're not gonna respect it. 1 second, caller. 1 second. Right. So if you're shooting 43% from the field, team's not gonna respect your jump shot. They're gonna play. They're gonna sag off into the paint, which is gonna make it hard to penetrate. I seen multiple times in the fourth quarter, Frank had a lane to the basket. He went, guy double teamed. He had to kick it back out. Alonzo Trae, I think on the same possession, went to the basket, same area, got double teamed, had to kick it back out, because we do not have consistent shooters that are going to spread the floor and make you stick to them. We shoot 32% from 3, right? Teams aren't going to respect that very much. And so they're not really going to stick to you because they're going to take that chance, right? They're going to take that chance and say, you know what? If they hit it, okay, they hit it. But most times they're not going to hit it. So they're going to protect that paint. That's one of the issues that we're having. One of the issues that we're having with penetrating to the basket is not just that the guards don't penetrate. The lanes aren't there. If you look, I mean, of course we get lanes sometimes, but like someone just said about Trae, right? Sometimes, Trae, he gets to the basket because he's strong and powerful, but sometimes he's still going in there with 3 people in there because people aren't respecting our outside shot. And when a guard has the ball and he's dribbling, he's looking for lanes to the basket, and he doesn't see any. What else you gonna do? You gotta swing it back around, and then we're staying on the perimeter. You know what I mean? And part of the issue with us not being able to penetrate is because we can't hit shots from the outside. Because even when we do get wide open shots from the outside, we don't hit them, so teams don't respect it. That's one of the issues that we have with us penetrating to the basket. A lot of it is, with our big guys not being able to hit mid-range shots and our guards not being real consistent from the 3-point line, we're having a lot of trouble. Like I said, we shoot 32% from 3 on the season. You're not gonna get much respect that way. Caller, you're on live. What's up? What's popping?
Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on, Knicks family?
Chilling, man. I think everybody's chilling.
What topic we on right now?
Right now, we're kind of breaking down players. We're about to move on and talk about, who people think are the players of the game. But we were just kind of breaking down players, talking about players. Just talking some strategy about the game.
Well, yeah, I was talking about the Trae Burke thing and Tim Hardaway. As far as like Trae Burke and him not being, I don't think they thinking to trade him. I just think they're gonna just like release, because because they didn't expect for Mitchell Robinson and Zoe to probably make it this early in the season, to make the team this early. You know what I mean? So, and if you look at it, you just can't be just cutting. Like, they sent what's his name to the G League, Luke, but he has he signed a $1.5 million contract. The odd man now, if you're doing the math, it's got to be Trae Burke, because he's the only one that has a non-guaranteed contract. I mean, his contract coming in, until a certain point, I think it's probably another month and a half, his contract becomes fully guaranteed. So they got to let him go.
Whose contract did you say?
Break down the math, he would be the odd man out. And if you look at it, if you remember at the beginning when Fizdale did the press conference when he first got hired, and who was there? It was Moutier. I think the other one was Trae Burke.
Who was it that you said? Whose contract did you say become?
He specifically singled out the Moutier. I'm gonna make you. I forgot his exact words, but he was telling Moutier, I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna make you better. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get you out there and I'm gonna make you improve. So it was always a little bit of favoritism towards Moutier's game, I feel like, over Trae Burke. And then if you look at Trae Burke when he plays, he can't stay in front of no guards. He can't stay in front of nobody. You know what I mean? They just blow by him or they shoot over him. He can't do nothing. He tries. He does try, but he's just so short. And as far as Tim, I think sometimes we be giving him a little bit of, not you, I'm just saying general, because of his shot selection. But it's you got to understand, some people got to understand, he's the only one. Who else are we gonna give the green light to shoot those shots like that at a high clip on our team other than Tim? Our best player. So you gotta understand, we have a player that's missing from our team. I consider KP a top 20 player in the league. You know what I mean? And that's big to be missing from your team. Because last year, before he got hurt, and I was All-Star break, he was a top 20 player. You know what I mean? And I'm just going off of that. I'm not saying I hope he come back, he's going to be better, but off of that, and that's a big chunk. That's a big, big player to be missing from your team. So we just got to just, relax and just let Hardaway do him. And the better he does, is his contract is not that big. We could definitely get him out of here for a piece, because we're not going to be able to sign 2 max free agents. So if we could trade Hardaway with something, we might have to give up, I don't know, one of our young pieces, just maybe one, but get a max player for Trae, and then we get somebody coming in. We could be good, but that's all I had to say, man. Signing out, man. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Peace, man. Have a good one. Have a good one. Now I seen something in the chat. Somebody was saying about guys getting to the basket, and yeah, Tim Hardaway, Trae, they do get to the basket, but it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? There's hardly any time. I mean, they get to the basket, but I can guarantee you, maybe not Trae. I can guarantee you Hardaway shoots more mid-range shots and threes than he gets to the basket. And part of the reason why he shoots that way is because there's not always lanes to the basket. Pay attention and watch the game. Watch where guys are. Watch how many people are sagging, maybe not all the way into the paint, but they're ready for help side because they're not worried about sticking to our 3-point shooters. They're not worried about it at all. If they're worried about anyone, they're worried about Dotson. Right? But they're not overly concerned about sticking like white on rice to our 3-point shooters. And that clogs the lanes. I mean, watch it. Watch the game. Look at the game. Look at the game. Our lanes are clogged every single game, and it's hard to get into the lane. Go back and watch this game. Right? Atlanta's not really a good team, right? So their defense isn't that good. But just go back and look at some other games, and it's very hard for us to get to the cup because we don't shoot well from that 3-point line. We don't shoot well from the mid-range because we shoot 43% from the field. That plays a big part in it. You know what I'm saying? Ralph, did I understand him? I understand what he was trying to say. I think I understood what he was trying to say. Alan Dwart, you said, I think I missed it. Let me go back. You say, and maybe I'm late, but it lets them get free throws. Tim only made 8 shots, yet he scored 30 of the free throws. Yeah, yes, he did. He did. I'm not talking about anybody's shot percentage right now. Only thing I'm talking about right now is our guards being able to get to the basket. And what I'm saying is that we have a hard time getting to the basket, because we do not spread the floor well, because we don't have shooters to spread the floor well. So we have a hard time getting to the basket. Your teams like Golden State, a team like Golden State, they do both well, right? They can get to the basket and they can spread the floor, and it works well together, right? The reason why they can spread the floor so well is because they can shoot. And when they can shoot, Steph Curry can shoot from so deep that you gotta play him and you gotta stick to him. Frank Ntilikina found out what happens when you play off Steph Curry. He's gonna knock it down. So now you got a guy like that, you gotta stick to him. That's why you seen Frank Ntilikina stick to Trae Young tonight. Because he was like, you know what? I seen what Steph Curry did to me. I'm not gonna let Trae Young do the same thing to me. He learned. And so he stuck to him. We don't have a player that you really have to stick to when we talk about that perimeter play. When we talk about those, knocking the ball down outside the arc. We don't have anyone that you're like, I'm scared this guy is really going to go crazy. Because no one is really shooting that consistent besides Dotson. But Dotson is not, one of the key cogs for us offensively that we're always going to be like, get it, feed them. You know what I mean? So, that's just something that pay attention to it. Something I want you guys to pay attention to as we're watching games. How much space we have to move. When we're out there on the floor, there's not much space. Our spacing isn't as good as it should be either. So, we got a lot to work on, though. I'm not complaining. We got to win. I'm glad. I'm happy. Just, pointing out some things that we need to watch and what we need to look at as to why we don't get those lanes to the basket. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
Hey, how you doing, Sim?
I'm chilling, man.
Shout out to this chat.
Appreciate it. Could you do me a favor? Could you turn that down in the back?
Yeah, I done did. I turned it down.
All right.
a lot of our problem in games are that we don't run enough pick and rolls. That's one thing. How we can get to the basket if we run more pick and rolls. Another thing is late in the in fourth quarter, Tim Hardaway don't trust the rest of his team to help him get that win. If he put a little bit more trust, if you notice, all great teams, they trust in one another. We got to learn to trust in one another. That's the only way we're going to start winning a lot of these close games that we play. You know what I'm saying? He needs to stop taking these crazy shots that he takes and put more trust in his team. And, you know what I'm saying? He has to know that teams look at him and know that he's our go-to guy. So he gotta be like the person that, you know, the front man. You know what I'm saying? When Carmelo Anthony used to be on our team, that's what he did for Porzingis. You know what I'm saying? He made sure that, you know, everybody's gonna focus on him, and he passed the ball to Porzingis, so Porzingis could be a better, you know, learn to be a better shooter, a better player. You know what I'm saying? In order for Kevin Knox to be a better player, Tim got to be the guy that, you know what I'm saying, draws all the attention, and then he can kick it to, you know, one of the other players and let them, you know, be that guy. He don't always have to be that guy. He to be a front for other players to make other players better. If he want to elevate his game, that's what he's gonna have to do, is be the front guy and get the other team involved. Get the rest of the team involved.
Yeah. Now, see, I definitely agree with you about the screen and rolls. I think, you know, I think our offense right now, and I'm trusting in Fizz, you know, that he's trying to build certain principles with our guys. But right now, I see us come up the sideline. We come up the sideline, pass the ball back to the middle of the floor, and I've said this time and time again, and it's become very predictable. We need some more diversity on the offensive side of the floor. Definitely some more screen and rolls. I just seen somebody in the chat say that's all we do is run screen and roll. I disagree. I don't think we run enough screen and roll, at least from the top of the key. I don't see us really run a lot of screen and rolls from the top of the key, where you get your guard way out at the top of the key. You bring your big man. You got everybody kind of spread out, and then you bring your big man in. Boom. You bring the big man up, run that screen and roll. Now, also, though, what hurts us is that we don't have the shooters that's going to spread the floor. So your screen and roll is not going to work very well because you don't have shooters that's really that people respect. And then when we do get those open threes, they're not knocking it down. That's what happens when you shoot 32% from the 3-point line and 43% from the field. Bombo said we run a weave every time. Almost. We run that handoff weave, right? All the time, and that's like, BN says Tim Hardaway needs to stop playing AAU ball. I seen somebody else say that Coach Fizdale is like an AAU coach. I don't know if he's an AAU coach. I'm sure they have some more things going on than just an AAU coach, but he needs to open up the playbook and get some cuts going to the basket, some dives to the basket, get some things that's a little bit more creative than just handing the ball off onto the wing and then setting the down screen to your guy in the corner. We just need some things that's more creative, because if we want ball movement, man movement, you got to put it out there for them to do it. Especially if you're trying, one thing that Fizdale says is that he's trying to let the guys learn each other, right? But if each person's, if Trae's tendency is to go one-on-one, if Tim Hardaway's tendency is to, go one-on-one, and then what do you think they're going to do when they get out there on the floor? That's what they're going to do, because that's what's in their nature. That's what their habits are. Right? If you're building a culture right? Then you got to do something to break those habits. And I think having a structured offense, now it doesn't mean, when I say a structured offense, I don't mean like, okay, we're not going to let anybody do anything that they're good at. That's not what I'm saying, right? You create ways for guys to do what they're good at out of the structure of the offense. You know what I'm saying? And then that structure builds these habits and tendencies in guys that you want. And now you can let the guys go, because what's going to happen once they build those habits, and those habits become second nature, whatever those habits are you're trying to build with your team, and the main principles of your offense, when they become second nature, now you can kind of let the guys loose a little bit, because those habits are automatically going to jump into play. They're going to happen automatically without the guys even thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? And then they're going to play. But what's going to happen is they're going to play with a little bit of flair that they have, but they're also going to have that structure. I'll put it like this, and maybe some guys are too young or haven't seen documentaries about it or whatever to understand it. The NBA, before it merged with the ABA, let's think about it like that. Okay, before the NBA merged with the ABA, the offenses were very structured. It was all half court, very slow, right? Just pass the ball around, pass. Let's find a shot, right? And then in the ABA, it was more, it was more fast break, running and gun, and boom, 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 boom. The two leagues came together, right? Both had to learn how to play each other's game, right? And then that's when you started to see like the real beauty within the game of basketball, because the structure that was in place from the guys in the NBA, the guys in the ABA came in, mixed in with that structure, but then started to bring out some of the run and gun, fast break, poetry, pretty style of play. And then now you see some of these offenses that we have in the NBA that it could be just beautiful, but I think you have to start with that structure that builds your habits. You know what I'm saying? And then you can let it go and you can let it flow. But you know what? I'm gonna trust Fizz. I'm gonna trust him. I trust what he's doing. I think that Fizdale is was the perfect guy for us. So I'm trusting what Fizdale is doing, and that he knows what he's doing, because there's more than one way to skin a cat, right?
Yeah, definitely. Another thing, tonight I saw something. It was a fast break. It was Trae and Hazonia. Hazonia had the ball. He passed to Trae. Instead of Trae passing it back, and that's just something that Fizz is gonna have to start getting in Trae's head. When you got a fast break like that, and somebody passes you the ball, you could pass it back. And if the man switch off to them, you can pass it. They give him both teams.
I remember the play. I remember
the play. Things that our players gonna have to start getting accustomed to doing. Stop being so selfish like Trae. Yeah. I know we call him ISO Zoe, but he's gonna have to start playing within. You know what I'm saying? Playing team ball. We need more team ball being played.
Yeah, I remember that play. I remember that play because I was young. I wanted him to pass it back. I think he got fouled and went to the line. I think he got fouled and went to the line. But I remember that play because I wanted him to pass it back. But we've had the issue in our fast break since preseason, where we, especially from Mario Hazonia though, just crazy passes across the court, not really running our lanes. It's gonna take time. You know what I mean? And if we can continue to pick up wins like this throughout the season while we're learning, knock off a couple of guys that we're not supposed to knock off, we'll see what's up. CP the artist says they don't have the instinct yet.
Question before I go.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You think if Knox start playing in the post, you think that kind of bring out his game a little better? If he play in the post instead of playing the top of the key?
I actually think it would, because I feel that he's strong enough to play in the post. I do. I feel that he's strong enough to play in the post, but he's playing a lot outside. I think you should start him inside. See if he can get some easy buckets, get hit. Get yourself in the game before you just start shooting up threes. Not that it's his fault. I'm not saying it's his fault. It's the position that he's playing. But
thank you, Sim. Shout out to the chat.
I appreciate it, man.
It's always good talking to you.
Definitely.
And let's hope we can win a few more games like this, man.
Yeah, let's do
more of these close games that we get. Because we're playing hard. We just need to get those wins, man.
Yeah. All right, we need that fourth quarter execution, man. All right, appreciate the call. Peace. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna get back to the chat. Chat. Right now, we still got Ant, we got Prince, we got Guillermo, Isaiah, and Viv. I want to get you guys player of the game for tonight. Who's your player of the game? And then talk to me a little bit about the Knicks in Toronto. And we're gonna call it a night. All right, so I'm coming to the chat right now. Let me see. Ant, I'm gonna come to you, Ant. Oh, what's
Ant, up?
Who's your player of the game tonight?
The player of the game, I would give it to. Dang, this is a hard one. Player of the game. I guess I would go with Timmy. I guess I got to go with Timmy. Mm-hmm. I mean, a dark horse for me would be Emmanuel Mudiay. I think those minutes, those 3 big shots, 3-pointers he made, big bars. Timmy put up the best numbers. Kept us in. Yeah, I'll give it a 10.
Okay. All right. And what do you think about Knicks in Toronto? How you feeling about that right now?
I think Toronto walks out of there 11-1, but I don't know, man. If this game was in Madison Square Garden, I think it would be another close game. But I think Toronto wins by 12, 13 points. But I do think Frank has another pretty good game.
Okay. All right. Let me see who we got. Prince. Who's your player of the game tonight?
I got to give it to my boy Mud, man. Them those three threes was big, man. And he also had a tip out. Somebody shot I think Tim Hardaway shot a ugly 3, and he tipped it out to restart the possession in the fourth quarter before he got hurt. So I had to give it to Mudiay, man. He ran the offense the best. When he got hurt, our team sputtered and we didn't score. That's when we were stuck on 92 points. So I'm gonna have to give it to Mud, man.
Okay. All right. And what do you think about Toronto? Excuse me. Toronto and New York and Toronto. How you feeling about that?
I guess we could take this L like men, but definitely, man, it's one of those games that we can gauge our team to see how much we've grown and see how much fight we got in us. We know we ain't got nothing for Toronto. Sputtered and we didn't score. They look great without what's the name? So with him coming back, it's gonna be ugly.
You say they look great without who?
I'm tripping right now. What's the guard? The guard they just picked up. I'm tripping. My mind went blank on Toronto.
You talk about Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah, Kawhi. My bad. Kawhi. Yeah, I'm tripping. Right. It's late. Yeah, Kawhi. The game that they played without him, they was just as efficient. Okay. So, with him, we're going to see what we look like. Maybe, somebody could talk to him. Maybe he want to come to New York next year. But, I just like to see us play decent, play a good game, learn how to share the ball, and maybe we'll pick up some stuff from Toronto. I mean, shoot, like you said, I've been saying that for forever. We got to play better. We got to learn how to share the ball. Like you and Viv was talking earlier, we a little bit too selfish when it comes to scoring. And I think if we shared, we would be a lot better team, and it would make everybody score easier. I think that's our problem. We got too many selfish players, and everybody. Well, Tim Hardaway and Trae, those guys, they want to do it themselves, and this is a team basketball game, so we got to share the ball.
Now let me ask you. is Toronto, are they the best team in the East?
I think so. To me, what I've seen from them at 10-1, you know what I'm saying? They spanked Boston. Indiana's tough, but for what it's worth, I think we looking at the Eastern Conference. You know what I'm saying? We're looking at the Eastern Conference champions in Toronto. I think Boston is tough, but I think at the end of the day, I don't think nobody's gonna be able to slow down Kawhi.
Okay.
Anybody gonna be able to stop that dude.
All right. Let me see. Guillermo coming to you. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure if you can see it or not. I just put a poll up. So, folks that's in the chat, I just put a poll up. Hopefully you can see it. I don't know if it popped up. Yeah, it did pop up. So if you look at the top of the screen, there should be a white circle with an eye in it. I think most of you guys know what I'm talking about. Click on that, and
I'll mute this guy
for player of the game. There's a poll for player of the game. And I want to know who you think your player of the game is. But Guillermo, your player of the game, my man.
Tim, it's weird, man, because Tim Hardaway, he had 34 points, shot 2 from 11 from the 3-point line, but he was plus 20. I mean, he kept us in a game. As bad as it sounds, I got to give it to him, man. He's player of the game, bro.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. And your take on the Knicks in Toronto. And 1 second. The poll. Good. I'll say it one more time. The poll. This is what you need to do. At the top of the screen, right in the corner where the chat is, where it says top chat. If you go up to the top of your screen, you may not see it until you actually, if you're on your computer, you put your mouse up there, then you see a little circle pop up with an eye, and then it'll say from nothing but Knicks. And then when you click on it, there'll be a few things that drop down, and one of them is a poll. All right. So just check it out. Find it. You'll find it. Go ahead, Guillermo. My bad.
No, you're good, man. Man, Toronto looks scary, bro. OG Anunoby, your man Kyle Lowry, and what's his name? Even though he's been hurt, I think for the past 2 games or something. Kawhi Leonard. Toronto always gave us problems. I mean, DeMar Rosen's not there anymore, but Kyle Lowry and those energy guys, man, I don't know. It'll be a good litmus test for Ntilikina, because Kyle Lowry's not the greatest defensive player, so I want to see Frank be very aggressive against Kyle Lowry. If Kawhi Leonard's not in there, I think we have a chance, but if he is, I need to see some bully ball by Vonleh and Mitchell, man.
Okay. All right. See who I'm going to come around to. Isaiah.
Yo.
Your player of the game tonight, and what you think about Toronto and New York. Who's your player of the game?
Yo, this chat is crazy, man. My player of the game.
Someone has a weird echo tonight.
You know what? I'm going to go with.
I don't know what it is. I'm not sure. Why I'm not sure why there's a weird echo. Yeah.
You know what? Freak it. I'm going with Frank Ntilikina.
That's your player of the game? Frank?
I'm going to go with Frank
out.
because he shut Trae Young down. And he shut Trae Young down, and he still scored his points. Once Frank gets into the paint, oh my God, listen, it's crazy. He scores when he's in the paint. He scores as good as a big man almost.
Who, Frank?
Yeah, when he gets in the post.
I'm not sure about that one.
Well, okay, not like as good as a big man, but he shoots pretty well in the post.
Yeah. All right. No, he does have a nice little turnaround fadeaway.
Cancer.
He does have a nice little turnaround fadeaway in the post.
But for the Raptors game, man, I had the Celtics going to the finals, but man, them Raptors looking like they're gonna go. But they're gonna lose because of Drake. But the Raptors, man, the Raptors are a bad team, man. They got defense, they got offense, and they got a bench.
Yeah,
that's crazy. But you know what? The Knicks have literally fought every good team except Miami, so I think it's gonna be a close game. We're gonna lose, but it's gonna be 108 to 102.
All right, 108 to 102. All right.
And And I'm gonna say and who's gonna break out in that game? I'm gonna say Kevin Knox. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna say Kevin Knox.
You're saying Kevin Knox is gonna break out?
I think Kevin Knox is gonna. Kevin Knox is gonna have 20 points, 19 points.
Okay, I hope so. We need him to. We need him to do something. We need him to do something.
And he's gonna get 19 and 8.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Let's go to Viv. And guys, start thinking about your last words because I'm gonna be coming around real soon. All right. Go ahead, Viv. Your player of the game.
My player of the game. I'm gonna give it to Timmy. I think he was part of that run that kind of opened up the game like crazy, and I mean that really made a difference for me. So it was tough, but I'll give it to Tim. And I give him 20 free throws too. I mean, most of them did come near the end. I mean, a good chunk came near the end, but still getting to the line 20 times is still an accomplishment, nonetheless. Now to the Raptors game. It's a 3:00 game on Saturday, and the Knicks.
It's a weird time.
Look, I remember these games. Every time the Knicks would go to Toronto. Actually, wait. It's at home. Even then, right? So any of these weird afternoon games, right? They just seem to play terribly for some reason. Like they don't have like the energy level. Now, I mean, from previous years, maybe it was because they were a veteran team. They're just like maybe hung over some crazy thing, but like the energy level is always off on like an afternoon game. They just don't have some sort of prep. And Kawhi, I think Kawhi's going to play that game too. But actually, wait, sorry. They're in Toronto, I think, right?
Yeah, they're in Toronto.
Yeah, I was looking at the crowd. I was trying to see if Kawhi's playing a back-to-back. They're playing a back-to-back either. So, yeah, that's gonna be a tough game for them. It's gonna be tough for us.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough game. Again, ladies and gentlemen, there is a poll, and next time I'll make sure I have the poll up beforehand, so we got the whole chat to vote on it. Right now in the poll, as far as the chat, right now the chat has Alonzo Trier and Frank Ntilikina tied, and I'm going to refresh this. So right now, Tim Hardaway, Frank Ntilikina, and Alonzo Trier are tied for player of the game, each with 30%, Emmanuel Mudiay with 10% in the poll results. That's where we are right now, and we'll see what the chat says by the time we get to the end of the show. All right. I think that versus the Toronto Raptors, the Knicks are going to come out and play hard. I think it's going to be one of those games where we try to step up, right? Where we try to step up to the level of our competition. And I think you're gonna see us play really, really hard, the same way we did against Boston. In the end, I don't think we're just not gonna be able to match their firepower, their experience, and we lose the game. But I think that we're gonna fight hard. You know, that's where I think it's gonna be. I haven't really been able to break things down to really look at them, to see what it is we need to do to try to beat them. But I'll get a chance. We don't play until Saturday, so I got a little bit more time. But Viv, tell me, do you think Toronto's the best team in the East?
I mean, do we look at best team as just the regular season and the playoffs, or do you think are we just looking like as of today, or do you think are we going to play a long game?
I mean, I'm looking at regular season and playoffs.
Yeah, I still have Boston above Toronto because I don't know if Toronto is built for like that Eastern Conference Finals, getting to that level. I feel like they always flame out. They have a very good regular season, and then the moment the playoffs hit, they get the first round, it's easy, and then the moment the second round hits, that's when things get tough for them.
Well, they flame out with Kawhi Leonard there.
Yeah, probably, because I think their problem was that they would just freeze out Lowry. Now, I haven't seen a lot of Kawhi this year, but they kind of have to diversify their offense a bit so that if they stop Lowry, the offense can still kind of run it. That seems to be the problem with the DeRozan-Lowry combo. So.
Yeah. Okay. So, Viv, why don't you go ahead? I'm going to start going around. Why don't you go ahead and give me your last words for the night? And then I'm going to go around and get everyone's last words. And then I'm going to head off. So.
Yeah. It's good that they got a win. Especially coming off that terrible loss on Monday. It was good to see them bounce back a little bit. Obviously, there's things to work on going into Saturday. And Saturday is going to be a tough matchup too. No, I think as Fizz tightens up this rotation, I think that we hope that he can start implementing more of his offense. And I think it's about time that he starts doing it. I think that structures is going to help this team, and it's going to make a big difference with everyone's play. And I'm looking forward to see how Knox will handle a couple of extra days of rest. They've been treating him with baby steps, but I think a couple of days of practice will give him an opportunity to kind of play 15-20 minutes at least at the minimum. And again, two things for Knox: it's just try to focus on the other parts of his game, and the second part is for our other players, including Frank, Dotson to an extent, Vonleh, Mitchell. They need to, play smart out there. They can, don't try not to be too over aggressive in a sense where you commit stupid fouls. Foul trouble has always given us a problem where we get on a penalty very early in quarters, and it just messes up our entire game. So as long as we do that and just continue to play with a good level of energy, we'll at least be finishing stuff.
Okay. All right, Viv. I appreciate it, man. Now Saturday, I will not be able to do the pregame or halftime show, so I'll have a pre-recorded pregame. And then postgame is going to probably be a little bit later than usual. I have a training that I have to do on Saturdays, from like 10 to 4. And the training is like 2 hours away. So, when I get home, I'll do the postgame, but it's going to be a little time, maybe an hour or so after the game. Something like that, but I'll be on nonetheless. All right, but all right, Viv, have a good rest of the week. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you Saturday. Hopefully, if you're gonna be on Saturday.
I'll see about Saturday. I'm not sure yet.
All right, Viv.
All right, take care. Have a good week.
All right, peace. What did I do? There we go. All right, Ant. Give me your last words tonight, man.
Hear ye, hear ye. Yo, but I saw some funny stuff in the chat, man. Somebody said like Troy ass. I don't know, man. It was funny, but yeah, I agree. I forgot who said it, but they said we fought in every game so far. So, I know I predicted we lose pretty convincingly, but, just kind of changing my mind a little bit, man. This team has fought in every game. So, I could see very well them fighting in this game. I don't think we'll win, but I could see them putting up a good effort. I think Frank Ntilikina and Kevin Knox, Fizz needs to stress 2 words to them: inside out. That's it. They need to work inside out. I done seen Knox take like 8 wide open 3-point shots since he's been back, and he's made none of them. So I need him to focus on getting to the basket, getting to the line. Frank is too big of a point guard to only take 2 free throws. I'm sorry. Frank needs to be shooting 6 to 8 free throws a game. He needs to be going to the basket with some veracity, posting up smaller guards like he did the first time against Trae Young. The second time in the second half when he got the ball, They gave it to him on a post. He kind of tentatively took 2 dribbles, stopped, and then passed it back out. So I want to see him be aggressive in the post. I want to see him get into the paint. Kevin Knox drive to the basket, get fouled, watch some free throws go in. And, you know, I think Kevin Knox, if he can do that, I think we'll start to see him blossom a little bit because the guy we saw in Summer League is still there. I think once he sees a couple shots go in, we'll start to, you know, have some fun watching him again. But, you know, Fizz, I want to see him now start to implement some plays, you know, make it easier on some of these guys, man, because some of these guys are not being put in positions to maximize their potential right now. And Frank is one of those guys. I don't think he's being put in position to maximize his ability and to use the mismatches he causes. So I want to see Frank come off some curls and get him some plays going to the basket. Like, those are the kind of stuff I want to see. I don't seen enough of Tim Hardaway Jr. shooting. I don't need to see that anymore. No, I want to see some other guys get an opportunity to shine. I think we'll be better. I think we'll be a better team for him.
All right. I mean, so you think? You gave me a prediction on Toronto already.
Yeah, but I'm gonna curve it a little bit. I said we'll lose by 13. I think we'll lose 120 to 12. I mean 100.
Dang, 120 to 12.
120 to 112.
Okay.
I don't think we're gonna be able to stop them defensively. They're a very good offensive team, so I think they put 120 in our head, but I think we match them with 112.
Okay. All right, Ant. King Vitamin.
Take your vitamins, kids.
All right, man.
He got my face covered with the stereo box.
All right, man. Peace.
Yo, Simmons out of pocket. Hear ye, hear ye.
Oh boy, that dude is funny, man. Let me see. All right, Grandma, I'm on you, man. What's up?
Yo, if Isaiah does not have a show or something in the next 2 or 3 years, you're wasting your life, son. This guy's the most ignorant, funniest dude I've met, that I've not met in person, son. He's just beyond ignorant. But yeah, man, like you said, I need to see Frank be aggressive against Kyrie. I need to see bully ball. I need to see them feed him in a post. I need to see him drive, Sim. Drive. You are not a shooter or a spot-up shooter like that. Use your length. You have the wingspan. You're 6'5" or 6, whatever it is. Use your length and your size against this guy to dominate him, man. That's the only way I think we could win. Because Kyle Lowry, he's a fire starter for that team. If he's on, that team wins, man. So it is what it is. I still think we're going to lose, but like Ant said, I'll give it to Fizz. He's kept us in almost every game except for the Heat game. So this Toronto game better be competitive, man. I want to see somebody contribute. Every other game we see somebody new contribute. So I see you guys on Saturday, man. Peace to the chat. Isaiah, you're alien. You're a weirdo, man. But peace out to you guys, man. Peace.
All right, man. All right, peace. Peace. All right, Isaiah.
Oh man, what's up, beloved?
What's going on, man?
But hey, tell Grandma, man, I'm getting a show soon, man. I'm doing comedy shows. I want y'all to come out here soon, man.
You do comedy shows where?
I do comedy shows in Connecticut.
For real? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I do comedian. I'm a comedian.
So how come you don't have you need a YouTube channel and you need to record your shows? You know what I'm saying? I mean, your YouTube channel.
A lot of my shows on Pornhub, so I can't really do that.
Oh, come on, man! This guy. See that?
No, I'm playing, but I'm not really playing.
He's not playing. I don't know if he's playing. I hope his girl not listening.
Oh, come on. It's her, ain't it, man? It's her. I'm playing.
Yeah, okay. All right, you saying that now.
I do shows, but I'll let you know when I do shows. I'm planning a show before the end of the year I want to do, so I'll let you know. But
that's what's up though, man. How long have you been doing that?
Actually, I've been doing comedy for a while, man. I've been doing it since it all started a couple years ago when I did a church play for my cousin, and I was the comedy relief in the play, and then people were just like, hey, you should do comedy because they're really funny. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought about it and I was like, yeah, I'll try it out. And then like I really got into it. I done like a couple of shows around Connecticut and stuff. My homeboy, he did really. My homeboy, he does it too. He was in the Apollo, and he was in the competition at the Apollo.
Okay.
He got booed, but he did good at least a little bit. So I've been doing it for a while, man. I'm not just naturally funny. I mean, I'm naturally funny, but I do stuff for real.
All right, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. I'm interested in going and checking one of them out.
Oh yeah, man. Don't wear that bucket though, please. I'll be in my bag sometimes, man.
I'm gonna rock it because I got a little bit of wit too.
I know, but now you my pop. I don't do that to my family. I'll do that for you.
All right, so give us your last words, man.
Oh yeah, last words. You know what, man? What Guillermo and Ann said. You know what, Fizz? I'll give Fizz this one thing. We have fought. Last year we didn't fight. We gave up in the third quarter and we just said that's it. We go home. We're gonna fight. I don't think we're gonna win, but we're gonna fight and we're gonna do some things. Like Ant was saying, I want to see Frank in the post. I think Frank in the post is really good, man, and he's gonna have a lot. His hands full with Lowry, and you know what's crazy? I want him to look at Kawhi because I know people are gonna kill me, but I think that's what Frank can be to a certain extent. Because that's how Kawhi came into the people. You know what? People talk about Kawhi now, but they forget how Kawhi was when he was in the league, when he first started. He was just a defensive stopper and was just really good on the defensive end. Then I think it was a year 2 or 3 when he got really good he got decent on the offensive end and got really good in the other year. So I want Frank to look at Kawhi and that's what he can be. And I really do believe in that. And I believe Kevin Knox, like I said before, I think Kevin Knox is going to have a good game, 19-8. It won't be good shooting, I think, because, again, Kawhi Leonard is literally the best defender in the league. But we're going to play hard and we're going to play tough. And, yeah, that's it, man. That's all I got to say.
All right, man. Enjoy the chicken wings that you fried up.
I didn't fry them. I lightly sauteed them for tomorrow.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's good. Dude, Prince, what's going on, Prince? Prince is crazy, man. I don't know what Prince is saying right now, but it sounds like some nasty stuff. And I'm gonna pray for Prince. I'm gonna pray for you. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody. And I'll let anybody know if they're coming to the comedy shows. I'll definitely let y'all know. It's gonna be a free one because I do free ones. I don't want people to pay, but I do free ones. So Prince, you can bring your family. I don't know what's going on with this guy, so I'm scared right now.
Oh no.
I think his wife's calling him to the bed. I think the kids are sleeping. He might be getting something. I don't know, man. Yo, right, man. I'm out, man. Right. He kicked me out, man. Prince on the Prince. What's good with Prince, man?
Prince is on you, man.
Hey, I love the chat. I see y'all on Saturday.
All right, man. Peace.
Hey, it was good. I wish I had a piece. So you should have gave me a piece.
All right, man. Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out, man. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you guys on Saturday. And like I said, I'll have a pre-recorded premiere up. So it'll go up. It'll seem like it's live just like usual, but it'll be a pre-recorded premiere. And then I'll be a little bit late doing the post game on Saturday. But have a great rest of your week. And peace, man. Peace.